Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I'm Maria Albina Michael, and with me is Abhishek Mukhopadhyay with the Midday News. The headlines. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates and lays foundation stone of 22 developmental projects worth over 4,800 crore rupees in Imphal, Manipur. Says Manipur will be the gateway to the Southeast Asian countries and strengthen Atmanirbhar Bharat. 1,892 cases of Omicron reported in the country so far, over 37,000 new COVID cases reported in the last 24 hours. Under nationwide vaccination drive, more than 146 crore 70 lakh COVID vaccine doses administered in the country so far. About 42 lakh children inoculated on the first day of COVID vaccination for 15 to 18 age group. National capital Delhi imposes weekend curfew in view of spike in COVID-19 cases. Centre suspends biometric attendance for government employees till 31st of this month. Zojila Pass connecting Jammu and Kashmir to Ladakh opens for vehicular traffic for the first time ever in January. United States, Russia, Britain, France and China agree to check further spread of nuclear arms and avoid nuclear war. And in cricket, India were 47 for 1 in the day 2 of second test match against South Africa in Johannesburg. As India marches towards administering 150 crore vaccine doses against COVID-19, news about the new corona variant is a cause of concern. We appeal to our listeners to get fully vaccinated and help others, including children between 15 and 18 years, get vaccinated as nationwide vaccination of teenagers is underway now. Please continue to follow these 3 simple steps to stay safe. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki doori for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. For any COVID-related information and guidance, contact national helpline numbers 011-239-78046 and 1075. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said Manipur will be the gateway to the Southeast Asian countries and strengthen the Atmanirbhar Bharat, and he also praised the women of Manipur and said that they make India proud in world of sports. He was speaking after inaugurating and laying the foundation stone of 22 developmental projects worth over 4,800 crore rupees in Imphal today. Prime Minister inaugurated 13 projects worth around 1,850 crore rupees and laid the foundation stone of 9 projects worth around 2,950 crore rupees. These projects relate to diverse sectors such as road infrastructure, drinking water supply, health, urban development, housing, information technology, skill development, art and culture, among others.
इम्फाल के इंटीग्रेटेड कमांड एंड कंट्रोल सेंटर से शहर की सुरक्षा भी बढ़ेगी और सुविधाओं का भी विस्तार होगा। बराक रिवर ब्रिज के जरिए मणिपुर की लाइफलाइन उसको एक नई ऑल वेदर कनेक्टिविटी मिल रही है। थोबाल मल्टीपर्पज प्रोजेक्ट के साथ साथ तामेंगलोंग में वाटर सप्लाई स्कीम से इस दूरस्थ जिले के सभी लोगों के लिए साफ और शुद्ध पानी का इंतजाम हो रहा है।
Prime Minister in his speech proudly recalled that Manipur is a place where many freedom fighters were born and Moirang city of Manipur is the place from where Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose hoisted the tricolour for the first time.
देश इस समय अपनी आजादी के 75 वर्ष अमृत महोत्सव भी मना रहा है। ये समय अपने आप में बहुत बड़ी प्रेरणा है। मणिपुर वो है जहां राजा भाग्यचंद्र और पूक खेतिंगथांग सिथलो जैसे वीरों ने जन्म लिया। देश के लोगों में आजादी का जो विश्वास यहां मोइरांग की धरती ने पैदा किया, वो अपने आप में एक मिसाल है। जहां नेताजी सुभाष जी की सेना ने पहली बार झंडा फहराया था, जिस नॉर्थ ईस्ट को नेताजी ने भारत की स्वतंत्रता का प्रवेश द्वार कहा था, वो आज नए भारत के सपने पूरे करने का प्रवेश द्वार बन रहा है.
Mr. Modi said it is due to the double-engine government that these changes are being brought. He said under BJP regime, now Manipur is developing in various sectors. Talking about fight against COVID pandemic, he also said,
कोरोना से मुकाबले के लिए यहाँ वैक्सीन की 30 लाख से अधिक डोज मुफ्त दी जा चुकी है. आज मणिपुर के हर जिले में ऑक्सीजन प्लांट भी बनाए जा रहे हैं. ये सब कुछ आपके एक वोट ने किया है. मैं मुख्यमंत्री बीरेन्द्र सिंह जी और उनकी सरकार को भी बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं कि वो मणिपुर के विकास के लिए इतना परिश्रम कर रहे हैं.
Mr. Modi said that the sentiment of the people of Manipur is known to him, and from 2014 he is doing his best to develop the northeast region.
मणिपुर के 6 लाख किसानों को पीएम किसान सम्मान निधि के माध्यम से सैकड़ों करोड़ रुपए मिले. मणिपुर के 6 लाख परिवारों को पीएम गरीब कल्याण योजना का मुफ्त राशन का लाभ मिल रहा है. प्रधानमंत्री आवास योजना के तहत करीब 80,000 घरों को यहाँ के 4,25,000 से ज्यादा लोगों को आयुष्मान योजना के तहत अस्पतालों में मुफ्त इलाज मिलना आपके एक वोट की वजह से ही संभव हुआ है. 1.5 लाख परिवारों को मुफ्त गैस कनेक्शन दिलवाया है. 1,30,000 घरों को मुफ्त बिजली कनेक्शन दिलवाया है. स्वच्छ भारत अभियान के तहत 30,000 से ज्यादा घरों में शौचालय बनवाया है.
Chief Minister N. Biren Singh, Deputy Chief Minister Y. Joy Kumar, Governor L. Ganeshan, Union Minister for Labour and Employment Bhupendra Yadav, Union Minister of State for Education and External Affairs Dr. R.K. Ranjan and State Ministers shared the days with the Prime Minister. Later in the day, Prime Minister is visiting Tripura to inaugurate the new integrated terminal building of Maharaja Bir Bikram MBB Airport and launch key initiatives Mukhyamantri Tripura Gram Samriddhi Yojana and Project Mission 100 of Vidya Jyoti schools. In view of spike in COVID-19 cases, weekend curfew will be imposed in the national capital. Delhi government officials, barring essential services, will work from home, while private offices will work with 50% capacity. The Delhi Disaster Management Authority today met and decided on these new curbs in the city. Briefing media, Delhi Deputy Chief Mr. Manish Sisodia and Delhi Metro and buses will again run at full capacity to avoid crowding outside metro stations and at bus stops. However, people will not be allowed to travel without a mask. Mr. Sisodia said, as per the experts, the Omicron variant is milder.
More than 146 crore 70 lakh COVID vaccine doses have been administered in the country so far under nationwide vaccination drive. Health Ministry said more than 99 lakh 27,000 doses were administered in the last 24 hours. The ministry said a total of 37,379 new cases were reported in the last 24 hours. India's active case load stands at 1,71,830. The active cases account for less than 1% of total cases and is currently at 0.49%. The recovery rate is currently at 98.13%. A total of 11,007 people recovered in the last 24 hours. The weekly positivity rate currently stands at 2.05%, while the daily positivity rate is at 3.24%. Union Health Ministry said that more than 90 lakh vaccine doses were administered till 7 p.m. yesterday, out of which nearly 42 lakh doses were administered to the children between 15 and 18 years of age. We spoke to Dr. N. K. Arora, Chairman, COVID Working Group, about vaccination for children.
It was very heartening to observe that on the first day, almost 42 lakh children in the age group of 15 to 18 got their first dose of COVID-19 vaccine, and almost 55 lakh children have registered themselves for the vaccine. I saw the enthusiastic smile on the face of children coming for vaccination centers and also equal enthusiasm in their parents. to get their children vaccinated. We have to keep this tempo. In the first day itself, almost 5 to 6% of children were immunized. And we hope that in next 3 weeks, most of these children in 15 to 18 years should be immunized.
A total of 1,892 cases of Omicron have been reported in the country so far. Out of the total cases, Maharashtra has reported 568, followed by Delhi with 382, Kerala with 185 cases, and Rajasthan has reported 174 cases. Union Health Ministry said till now 766 people have recovered from the infection. The Union Government has said that more than 152 crore 96 lakh COVID vaccine doses have been provided to states and union territories so far. Health Ministry today said that more than 19 crore 69 lakh balance and unutilized vaccine doses are still available with the states and union territories to be administered.
Minister of State for Personnel, Public Grievances and Pensions, Dr. Jitendra Singh, has announced the suspension of the biometric attendance for government employees with immediate effect due to rise in COVID cases. DOPT said that biometric attendance will remain suspended till 31st of January. Heads of departments have been asked to ensure that employees wear masks at all times and follow COVID-appropriate behavior. All India Institute of Medical Sciences, Delhi, has cancelled the remaining part of winter vacation from 5th to 10th of this month in view of the rise in COVID-19 cases. It has asked all faculty members to join duty with immediate effect.
Union Minister Mahendranath Pandey has tested positive for COVID-19. In a tweet, he informed that as a precautionary measure, he is under treatment at Yashoda Super Speciality Hospital, Kaushambi, Ghaziabad, and now his health condition is stable. He also requested all those who have come in contact with him in the last few days should get investigation done as per requirement. Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal has tested positive for COVID-19. In a tweet, Mr. Kejriwal said he has mild symptoms of COVID-19 and isolated himself at home. He has requested that those who came in touch with him in the last few days should isolate themselves and get tested.
In Punjab, 419 new COVID-19 positive cases were reported yesterday. According to Punjab Health Department, there are total 1,741 active COVID-19 cases in the state now. Health Department said yesterday a total of 91,494 persons were vaccinated. That includes 3,071 children in the age group of 15 to 18 years. Jharkhand government has imposed several restrictions from today in the wake of fast-spreading COVID-19 cases in the state. The total number of active COVID-19 cases has surpassed 4,000 mark across the state.
In Madhya Pradesh, over 7,49,000 children of 15 to 18 years age group were vaccinated yesterday. The target of the state government is to immunize all the children of 15 to 18 years of the state by 20th January. More from our Bhopal correspondent.
For immunization of children of 15 to 18 years, 8,667 centers have been set up in the state. Chief Minister Shivraj Singh Chauhan launched the vaccination campaign for children at Subhash Higher Secondary School, Bhopal on Monday. MD NHM Priyanka Das informed that all the arrangements were made as per protocol at all the vaccination centers. Meanwhile, the state reported 221 new COVID-positive cases yesterday, including 110 in Indore and 54 in Bhopal. The number of active cases in the state increased to 773. Pooja Pivardhan, AIR News, Bhopal.
Talking to All India Radio, Dr. Sanjay Pandey of GB Pant Hospital emphasizes to maintain COVID-appropriate behavior in order to minimize the number of cases.
पहले के जो वेव्स आए या पहले की जो लहर आई उसमें लोगों ने काफी जागरूकता का परिचय दिया। कोविड ऐसा नहीं है कि यहाँ परमानेंट रहने वाला है, धीरे धीरे कोविड जाएगा और कब जाएगा कोई नहीं बता सकता, लेकिन अगर हम कोविड एप्रोप्रिएट बिहेवियर को फॉलो करेंगे तो केसेस को कम कर सकते हैं और केसेस के साथ अगर हम हॉस्पिटलाइजेशन और सीरियसनेस को कम कर सके तो हम काफी उम्मीद है कि इस पर अच्छे से काबू पा पाएंगे।
Mumbai is facing the threat of lockdown due to sharp rise in COVID-19 cases. The metropolis has seen unprecedented surge in the cases, and this has become the major cause of concern for the civic administration. BMC Commissioner I.C. Chahal has said that lockdown will be the last option if daily cases cross 20,000 mark in the city. Mumbai Mayor Kishori Pednekar has also appealed to people to follow self-regulation and not to attend large gatherings. More from a correspondent.
Mumbai Mayor Kishori Pednekar today said that nobody can think of lockdown in Mumbai as many activities have returned to normalcy and economic recovery is in progress. Therefore, common people as well as political parties should avoid functions and large gatherings in the present circumstances in the state. Endorsing his stand, Mumbai Mayor said that people will have to follow self-regulation and they should resolve not to attend functions and gatherings like marriages and also to organize their family functions with the minimum number of persons following all the protocols. She said that if people want to avoid the lockdown, they should resolve not to attend crowded places, should not remove their mask while travelling in public transport, complete their vaccination with both the doses and vaccination of the children in the newly added age group. Shailesh Patil, AIR News, Mumbai.
In a bilingual live phone-in program, Corona Jagrukta series, Phone In with Public, Dr. A.K. Varshne, former consultant, RML Hospital, New Delhi, will be with us tonight to answer the queries related to coronavirus. Listeners can ask questions to the expert from 9:30 p.m. on telephone number 011-2342-1230 and 011-2342-1764. You can also post your queries on a Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts by hashtag AskAIR. This live program can be heard on FM Gold channel and additional frequencies from 9:30 p.m. onwards. This program will also be available on the website newsonair.gov.in and YouTube channel News on AIR Official.
In Bihar, the number of daily COVID cases continues to increase with 344 more people testing positive for the virus in the last 24 hours. The number of active COVID cases in the state increased to 1,385. In the last 3 days, a total of 168 doctors and MBBS students of Nalanda Medical College Hospital, NMCH, have tested positive. 3 judges of Patna High Court were also tested positive. Meanwhile, over 1,60,000 youngsters received jabs so far in the state.
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates and lays foundation stone of 22 developmental projects worth over 4,800 crore rupees in Imphal, Manipur. Says Manipur will be the gateway to Southeast Asian countries and strengthen Atmanirbhar Bharat. 1,892 cases of Omicron reported in the country so far. Over 37,000 new COVID cases reported in the last 24 hours. Under nationwide vaccination drive, more than 146 crore 70 lakh COVID vaccine doses administered in the country so far. About 42 lakh children inoculated on the first day of COVID vaccination for 15 to 18 age group. National capital Delhi imposes weekend curfew in view of spike in COVID-19 cases. Centre suspends biometric attendance for government employees till the 31st of this month. Zojila Pass connecting Jammu and Kashmir to Ladakh opens for vehicular traffic for the first time ever in January. United States, Russia, Britain, France and China agreed to check further spread of nuclear arms and avoid nuclear war. And in cricket, South Africa were 50-1 in day 2 of the second test match against South Africa in Johannesburg. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
The Income Tax Department is conducting searches at the offices of real estate company ACE Group and its promoter Ajay Chaudhary in Delhi, Noida, Greater Noida and Agra. Tax sleuths are also searching at the corporate office and some of the real estate projects of the company. The builder is a real estate developer with several projects in Delhi and NCR. Zojila Pass, which connects Jammu and Kashmir to Ladakh, has been opened for vehicular traffic for the first time ever in January. In a significant boost to connectivity in the Ladakh region, 72 vehicles crossed the Zojila Pass for the first time ever on 2nd January. The development is a stellar achievement for Border Roads Organization BRO, as it will provide the crucial link between Jammu and Kashmir and Ladakh even during the peak winter season.
And now let's listen to a special program, Azadi Ka Safar, highlighting the importance of the day during the freedom struggle.
आजादी का अमृत महोत्सव।
Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News, Birth of a Nation.
India's glorious freedom struggle is one of the greatest struggles the modern world has ever witnessed. AIR News brings you a glimpse of the struggle every day.
In today's episode, we remember Gandhian freedom fighter and economist Joseph Chelladurai Kumarappa, who was born on the 4th of January 1892 at Tanjore.
As an economist, Kumarappa believed that a human is not merely a wealth-producing agent, but essentially a member of the society with political, social, moral responsibilities. His essays drew the attention of Mahatma Gandhi, who turned him into a constructive worker.
At the Karachi session of Congress in 1931, Kumarappa was chosen as the convener of a select committee to study the details of the financial obligation between Britain and India. When Gandhiji went to England to attend the second roundtable conference, Kumarappa assumed the editorship of his newspaper, Young India, and he was jailed for 2 years and 6 months of rigorous imprisonment for his writings. On his release from jail, he helped Dr. Rajendra Prasad and Jamnalal Bajaj as financial advisor during the earthquake relief work in Bihar in 1934. In 1942, Kumarappa was again jailed for his article, Stone for Bread.
While in prison, he wrote 2 books, Practice and Precepts of Jesus and The Economy of Permanence. Mahatma Gandhi wrote forewords for both these books. In 1946, he formulated an elaborate scheme for rural upliftment based on the principles of self-reliance. In 1948, when Mahatma Gandhi was assassinated, Kumarappa was so shocked that he lost vision of both his eyes. Fortunately, he regained his sight after a couple of days.
In the post-independence period, Kumarappa travelled on various missions across the globe for the national cause. Later, he retired from political life and settled down at Gandhi Niketan in Madurai district. Kumarappa breathed his last on the 30th of January 1960. We salute the great nationalist.
We also remember nationalist Maulana Muhammad Ali Johar, who died on the 4th of January 1931. Born in Rampur, Uttar Pradesh, on the 10th of December 1878. He was a staunch supporter of India's independence and a torchbearer of the Khilafat movement. He led a delegation to London for the Khilafat movement in 1920. On his return from England, he established Jamia Millia Islamia in 1920 at Aligarh, which was later shifted to Delhi.
Initially a member of the Muslim League, Johar joined the Indian National Congress in 1919 and became its national president in 1923. In 1930, he participated in the Roundtable Conference despite his ill health, where he gave his famous statement, "Either give me freedom or give me a 2 yards place for my grave. I do not want to go back to a slave country."
These words proved true, and he died on the 4th of January 1931 in London. Establishment of Maulana Muhammad Ali Johar University in his native town is a humble tribute to this great son of Rampur.
Remember freedom fighter Vishnu Dattatreya Chitale, who was born on the 4th of January 1906 in Kolhapur, Maharashtra.
At the 1940 Ramgarh session of the Indian National Congress, Chidare and K.M. Ashraf proposed an amendment to the main resolution calling for immediate launching of the struggle for independence and rejecting any compromise with the British rule.
In 1955, Chidare led over 1,000 satyagrahis to Goa to demand integration of Portuguese-controlled Goa with India. Portuguese military forces opened fire, injuring Chidare among many others. Chidare later served as a member of the Bombay Legislative Assembly from 1957 till his death in 1961. We salute the great nationalist.
That brings us to the end of this episode of Azadi Ka Safar with AIR News. See you in the next episode tomorrow.
भारत के स्वतंत्रता संग्राम में अनगिनत स्वतंत्रता सेनानियों ने अपने प्राणों की आहुति दी। कुछ इतिहास में अमर हो गए और कई गुमनाम। आजादी के अमृत महोत्सव के अंतर्गत 75 कड़ियों की श्रृंखला में हम उन वीरांगनाओं की बात करेंगे जिनका योगदान कभी भुलाया नहीं जा सकता। प्रत्येक मंगलवार परिक्रमा में सुनिए अपराजिता, देश की वीरांगनाओं को आकाशवाणी का सादर नमन।
Best wishes to all consumers for Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Hallmark ensures purity of gold. Always purchase Hallmark gold jewelry. For any consumer-related complaints, please contact National Consumer Helpline's toll-free number 14404, issued in public interest by Department of Consumer Affairs, Government of India, Jago Grahak Jago. Today is World Braille Day. The day is celebrated on the 4th of January every year to mark the birth anniversary of Louis Braille, the inventor of Braille for people with visual disabilities. A desk report.
Louis Braille was born in 1809 in France and became blind after a childhood accident, but he quickly mastered his new way of living. When Louis was just 15 years old, he created a reading and writing system based on Charles Babbage's night writing system. Unfortunately, Braille didn't get to see just how helpful his invention became. He died in 1852 at the age of 43. Braille is a tactile representation of alphabetic and numeral symbols using 6 dots to represent each letter and number and even musical, mathematical and scientific symbols. Braille is used by vision-impaired and partially sighted people to read the same books and periodicals as those printed in a visual font. Braille is essential in the context of education, freedom of expression and opinion, as well as social inclusion of persons with disabilities. Ravi Kumar, AIR News, Delhi.
United States, Russia, Britain, France and China have agreed that further spread of nuclear arms and a nuclear war should be avoided. According to a joint statement by the 5 nuclear powers published by the Kremlin, the countries consider it their primary responsibility to avoid war between the nuclear states and should reduce strategic risks with an aim to work with all countries to create an atmosphere of security. The Governor of Rajasthan, Kalraj Mishra, today inaugurated AIR News website in Rajasthani.
In the second cricket test, South Africa was 63-1 against India at the Wanderers Stadium in Johannesburg when reports last came in. Yesterday, India were bowled out for 202 in the first innings.
And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurates and lays foundation stone of 22 developmental projects worth over 4,800 crore rupees in Imphal, Manipur. Says Manipur will be the gateway to the Southeast Asian countries and strengthen Atmanirbhar Bharat. 1,892 cases of Omicron reported in the country so far. Over 37,000 new COVID cases reported in the last 24 hours. Under nationwide vaccination drive, more than 146 crore 70 lakh COVID vaccine doses administered in the country so far. About 42 lakh children inoculated on the first day of COVID vaccination for 15 to 18 age group. National capital Delhi imposes weekend curfew in view of spike in COVID-19 cases. Centre suspends biometric attendance for government employees till 31st of this month. Zojila Pass connecting Jammu and Kashmir to Ladakh opens for vehicular traffic for the first time ever in January. And in cricket, South Africa was 63-1 on day 2 of second test match against India in Johannesburg. And that is the end of the midday news.